What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another review. Today we have an S.H Figuarts. It's Son Gohan in battle clothes or Saiyan armor as we know it. So here's the package, standard box from S.H Figuarts that we've had for a while now. Window packaging and official stickers, promo images, stuff like that. So without any further ado, let's take them out the box. So actually, speaking of the box, apparently the instructions are now printed on the sides of the box. So for those people that used to open only one side, you actually have to open both sides now to get the instructions. Not that you really need the instructions, very rare occasions, but there you go. Alrighty, so here is Gohan out the package, and I think it's looking really good actually. It pretty much nails the figure aesthetically. It looks just like it jumped out the anime in my opinion. They also give us a couple of hair options, so that's great. Also worth noting though, I did have a little bit of trouble standing this guy. Not really statically, but on the turntable, it kept falling over, so he does have very small feet, so you got to be kind of careful with the posing. That's one thing to note right away. But other than that, I don't see any glaring issues yet. So let's go over the articulation and check out the accessories it brings and take a little deeper dive and see if it's worth it. All right, so let's take a look at all the faces that it brings. And we do have 4 separate faces, including the one that comes on it. So we have 5 faces. So that's a lot of options. I'm really happy with that. And a lot of different expressions that you could use in a wide variety of things. You know, you got a screaming face and then kind of like a gritted teeth face. And then the one I like the most is probably this happy face. And then another like stern face, kind of similar to the one that comes on the figure, but slightly different expression in eyes. But very, very happy with those. So it does also bring a couple of other hand options, like some wide open blasting hands, some like open hands for holding the Dragon Ball, and like some martial arts posing hands. Then it has like this really wide open hand. It looks like for choking, or I'm not sure exactly what that hand is for. And last but not least, it brings this Dragon Ball, which I'm a huge fan of the way that it's done now. It's very translucent and the light goes through it. It's the 3-ball. I think that we only need one more now to complete the set, if I'm correct. So yeah, good job with the Dragon Ball as well. It is also worth noting that it does bring 2 chest plates. So as you can see, it's flush here along with the armor. And if you do remove the chest armor and put the other one on, the only real difference is that, as you'll see, it doesn't go all the way. It's not the whole length of the armor, so it's just like half. So that may allow a little bit more posability and have the arm peek out of there a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to really help much, but yeah, it is included, so it is what it is. So I am a huge fan of this hair that is kind of like in action or like kind of messed up from battle. I think it looks great, and I didn't really like it in the promo images. I was kind of like whatever about it, but now that I actually have it, I really like the way that they did it. It looks really good, and it adds a bit of character to it, you know. Also, just different faces look great on this figure. I really like the way that they're doing it. Looks just like Gohan. I love the way that they did the eyes. And yeah, he can hold the Dragon Ball. So this figure is pretty darn good. It has a lot of display options. Even though the posability is not that great, which we're going to go over in a bit, you still have so many different options with all the faces and the accessories it brings that you can just do a lot with it. So I think that it's probably worth the value in that alone. And of course, it could have had a couple of more things like added, since it is a small figure and it doesn't have shading. That would have gone a long way. As always, things could be better, but I'm really happy with what we did get. So let's move on to the articulation. Alrighty, so he can look up this much, maybe a smidge more. He can look down a lot. You can go a little bit further back if you really push it. Full 360 in the head. The armor plates are articulated. Now the arm has a butterfly joint that works decently enough. Has bicep swivel. And then we got a joint at the elbow. It seems single joint. We got a swivel at the wrist. and a hinge as well that doesn't give you much range, but it's something, and then easily pops off as well. So we also have a chest crunch and a chest swivel. We have a waist swivel, which is a bit tight on my figure, but it's still doable. Can kick up this far and bends this much. It is a double bend at the knee, which is nice. It's not huge range. He has stubby legs, but it works. Now the ankles, they swivel and they have a hinge, but there's not much range at all. Toe hinge as well. Yeah, the cut could be a little higher on the boot so that you could move the ankle more, but it is what it is. It's decent enough, I think, to pull off a lot of great poses still. All right, now for height comparisons, here he is next to Krillin, and here he is next to an older version of himself. And I think the scaling is decent enough. Here he is next to Chaozu and his father as a kid. So he's about the same size as the kid Goku, which is about right, in my opinion. I think that works. So good job on scaling. Okay, so the final thoughts on this figure are that it's a really good figure. I like the way that they did it for sure. It has a wide variety of accessories. I love the different head options. So you could just do so many different things with it that the lack of posability is not that bad at all. I mean, it poses good. It's just the fact that he's a small guy and he has stubby limbs that you can't get too much range out of him. But I think they did a good job with what they could do. I have a couple of tight joints, which is just quality control that I can't really fault them for. It's not that bad either. It's stuff that I can take care of with like a little bit of oil, so that'll be fine. So I'm not gonna fault that. But yeah, the figure, it looks really good, and if you're collecting Dragon Ball Z, you're going to probably need this one in your Namek display, as there's not a whole lot of Namek characters, and this one just looks good, and it's a big part of the saga, you know? So I would recommend it to any collector. So pick it up. And yeah, that's it for this review. So leave a like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. If not, then just thanks for watching.